Welcome, one and all. The penultimate episode of 7 Sunday Morning Hot Takes is episode 51. Glad you could make it. I'm the dispatcher, and here we go. Hot take number 1. Well, in my estimation, and I don't think I'm alone on this, WWE's made a terrible mistake. Cody Rhodes is the undisputed champion yet again, defeating the Scottish Warrior on SmackDown Friday. This is obviously going to generate a lot of buzz and controversy, and probably generate ticket sales too, but it's a waste of what I thought was one of the best moments coming out of Elimination Chamber, which was the stunned and dismayed expression on Cody Rhodes' face after the match. He looked downright shell-shocked, losing to Orton and having no path to WrestleMania, but instead of leaning into that, Nick Aldis goes to bat for Cody, because Drew keeps interfering? When Drew attacked Fatu and Cody on Saturday night's main event, that match was already a no contest. Meanwhile, Jacob Fatu keeps interfering, Seth Rollins keeps interfering, masked men keep interfering, the Judgment Day openly talk about interfering whenever a cameraman is nearby. For 2 years, Roman Reigns would win every single one of his matches with the help of outside interference. But I guess for all this, McIntyre, a fellow citizen of the Commonwealth, has just gone too far. Even though it was Seth Rollins' interference that led to the opening for McIntyre's interference in the first place. Aldis said Drew put every obstacle in Cody's way, but if McIntyre took out Fatu and Jey Uso, that's the opposite of that. Those are obstacles removed. Sami Zayn, also a citizen of the Commonwealth, is onto something when he talks about certain wrestlers getting special treatment. Hot take number 2. So as I'm watching that match between Cody and Drew, I keep asking myself, is Drew trying to get counted out? Is Drew trying to get disqualified? What are the rules to this match? Is it no DQ? Well, in fact, it was never explicitly stated that the match was no DQ. The commentators never lean into the fact that it's essentially street fight rules. And McIntyre even seems to briefly question why referee Charles Robinson isn't forcing a break during the figure 4 when McIntyre reaches the ropes. However, during the introductions, the ring announcer does say, the match can only be won by pinfall or submission. Charles Robinson noticeably reacts with raised eyebrows. An interesting twist on the title can only change hands by pinfall or submission. McIntyre's so-called champion's advantage was not available to him. Essentially, the match was no DQ, but that was an implication, not a clear stipulation. If there's more swerves and turns to this story, this could be a point they could exploit. Hot take number 3. So El Grande versus El Grande just really isn't working for me, and the biggest problem is WWE's attempt to get Gable's El Grande over as a face when it's Kaiser's El Grande that feels more like a more dignified and sincere tribute to lucha wrestling, and not just making a mockery of it. I've seen this feud in AAA with the face-heel roles reversed, and it's smoking hot and the crowd are right into it. On the WWE side of things, original El Grande support is lukewarm at best, and mostly insincere and flat. So here's how to fix the problem. Mask versus mask match, and Kaiser knocks out the original El Grande and takes off his mask to reveal Matt Cardona. Next we see Chad Gable arriving at the arena, clean shaven. And as he's greeted by the Creed brothers, he says, "Hey guys, it's great to be back. Did I miss anything?" Hot take number 4. Happy days for Penta, the new Intercontinental Champion, with an assist to Danhausen, who cursed Dominic just minutes before the match. As Paul Heyman might say, that's not a curse, that's a spoiler. But Paul Heyman is dead now, I presume, so who's the one really wearing the curse? It's too late, perhaps, but they could have introduced Danhausen as the source responsible for the Vision's curse, and then have Danhausen be the one to answer Brock Lesnar's open challenge, and curse him, and win. If it's not going to be Obafemi or Gunther, then this is the best opponent for Brock Lesnar and the best outcome. Danhausen's debut match should be at WrestleMania against Brock, and he should win. Because the very best thing you could do with an absurd situation is try to coax me into believing in it. So congratulations to Penta, the new Intercontinental Champion. I hope at WrestleMania he literally jumps over a shark tank on a motorcycle. Hot take number 5. First of all, gauntlet matches are really stupid. Having said that, this week's #1 contender gauntlet match for the women's Intercontinental title, what a mouthful, is sure to be an excellent exhibition. Ivy Nile, Raquel Rodriguez, Lyra Valkyria, Bayley, Asuka, Io Sky, that is a killer's row. Too bad this couldn't be an Elimination Chamber match. Nice to see Ivy Nile in that group, and I'd love to see her win it somehow, or even just secure one pinfall, but she's up against the best of the best. Here's how I would book the match, and we'll see how close I get to the actual outcome. I'd start with Ivy Nile and Bayley, and I'd have Ivy Nile stun Bayley for the upset. Next, I'd have Raquel come out, and she easily takes care of an exhausted Ivy. Lyra comes in next, but Raquel hasn't broken a sweat and overpowers Lyra for another win. Lyra and Bayley have to deal with the fact that they're both losers. Asuka comes in next and uses her mist to defeat Raquel. And then last is Io, but with Kairi Sane's help, Asuka steals the win and gets the number 1 contender spot against AJ Lee. But to be clear, that's not a prediction. It's a curse. Hot take number 6. Because one gauntlet match isn't stupid enough, the creative wizards at WWE gave us a tag team turmoil match on SmackDown for the number 1 contender spot. And that match was won by R-Truth and Damian Priest, the team that came in last. That's so unfair to every other team, especially Motor City Machine Guns and Fraxium. Currently, Alex Shelley is the only one giving me hope that Johnny Gargano has a future. Las Garza looked really good, and I've said this before, if that's the worst team in your division, you have an awesome tag division. The stagnant SmackDown tag scene is just one example of how Road Dogg was not able to manage his assets productively. So R-Truth and Priest will get a shot at the titles, and don't be surprised if they win. I do really like how into it the crowd gets when R-Truth goes through Cena's repertoire, but the thought that I couldn't get out of my mind at the end of this match was, where the hell are the Street Profits? Hot take number 7. There are some things in wrestling that you can't do in the real world. We accept that, and we suspend our belief. That's part of the magic. But there are some things that I know you just can't do, even in a kayfabe world or otherwise. And one of those things is that you can't steal an ambulance. That's just not something you can justify or get away with. It's not just cartoonish, it's Bugs Bunny level of cartoonish. But that's okay, I enjoy that sometimes. I do have some questions though. 1, did LA Knight have prior knowledge that Seth Rollins would attempt to hospitalize Paul Heyman? That whole thing with Jimmy seemed like a setup. 2, how far did LA Knight get before he was pulled over by the police and arrested? 3, did Paul Heyman die? You can add criminal negligence causing death to the list of charges against Knight. 4, what about the 2 paramedics in the back with Heyman? Any word on their condition? God damn it, they could have families. They're trying to save people's lives. Imagine the stress. And 5, how does LA Knight even find the hospital with everybody saying left, straight, right, yeah? LA Knight as a fugitive on the run with Paul Heyman as his hostage would make a fascinating and hilarious 2-hour movie. Book it, Netflix. Thanks for being here. Next week will be my last episode of 7 Sunday Morning Hot Takes, so I hope you have a safe week and come back again to watch me have one more match against Gunther. I don't want to get you excited, and I can't make any promises, but don't be too surprised if The Undertaker shows up. I'm the Dispatcher. You're on the top turnbuckle, and every day is a sunset flip.